What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another live Q&A South Asian Man Evolution episode number 28, answering your questions on dating, self-improvement, all things to help you level up in the dating market as a South Asian guy. See who comes on tonight. Let's get the ball rolling. It's actually on time today for once. For those of you guys who end up watching this later on down the road, who aren't online and who aren't watching this live, there's a couple links in the description that could definitely help you out. One of them is my school community. That is my resource to you guys, helping you transform and level up your dating life. Tons of exclusive content, guides, courses. There's a community forum. I also do weekly coaching calls in there as well. You can also interact with other members in the community who are trying to level up their dating life. So if you're interested in joining that school community, it's the top link in the description. Also, be sure to check out my book, South Asian Casanova. Link to that is in the description as well. Wait for more people to join. Let's see. Comes on. Can answer your questions. Chill little Thursday stream. See who comes on tonight. All right. In 3 minutes, no one has come on to ask me any questions. It's interesting. The last couple streams I did, within the first couple of minutes, questions were going off. But tonight, it's like it's pretty dead. But I'm going to be on here for a little bit in case anybody comes. Any questions? Put them in the chat. All right, let's see. Slice of Sabby says, I am in Romania. Damn, that's what's up. Slice of Sabby. Why are you in Romania, bro? You say hi to what's his name? Tate? Andrew Tate for me? I'm just kidding. Building muscle and all. Nice, bro. But all Uber Eats are Indians. Yeah. I feel like most Indian, a lot of Indian people are in that industry, eh? Like cab drivers, taxi drivers, stuff like that. Uber Eats. It's funny when I order Uber Eats, it's almost always either like a Latino guy, a Middle Eastern guy, Asian guy. In this area, at least, it's usually a Asian guy. But yeah, bro, totally destroyed, man. Well, Why are you in Romania? I guess you just visiting for fun? Oh, I guess you answered that right here, just chilling. Yeah, by the way, bro, if you want, you can join the school community. I know you were in it for a little bit, but I actually lowered the price on it too. It's a lot more active nowadays than it was back when you were in it. I believe you're in the school community at one point, but found out a lot of content. If you're interested, no pressure though. But if you want to join it, links in the description. It's a lot of new content I've added. Very more engaging, more members. So it's really popping off. But yeah, bro, definitely check it out if you can. Bad stereotype. Just ignoring, doing my thing. Yeah, for fun. That's what's up. Yeah, sometimes it's good to take a vacation and, you know, de-stress from the world a little bit, right? Not too often, but every couple of months or so. They banned me from school, but why the hell did they ban you from school, bro? I feel like that's the most unbannable. Well, I'm not gonna say unbannable, but I feel like that's the most rated G like platform to just educate people on. Like it's literally just a place where like I don't know what you could have done to get you banned from school, bro. Like, do you even have your own community or something? Because I feel like all that's just a place where people post content and you just sign up with your email and watch. Yeah, man. No pressure though. You can join the school community, rejoin the school community if you want, but right now it's pretty popping. I've added a lot more content. There's a lot more engagement back from when you were last on it. So we got a couple people watching. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. Go ahead, drop your questions in the chat. Dating, self-improvement related, answering your dating questions. I saw when I was logging into YouTube earlier, there's another live stream from I guess you could say a competitor, but I think I'm better. I mean, I'll be honest. I think I'm better than all of those dating coaches on that panel that's going on simultaneously right now. I know a lot of you guys watch a lot of those other dating coaches, but I think I'm better than all of them. If you're good at your craft, you know what you're doing, you could say these things. But yeah, no humbleness here when it comes to what I'm good at, you know? So, and my true followers, you know this. Nobody quite understands our boys, us Indian men, like a former Indian guy like myself, you know? No idea. I just got a message, maybe some VPN. I will join again. That's interesting, bro. That's interesting. Ramadan Mubarak, bro. Happy I can drink water for now. Here we go. Got 6 people watching. 6 people watching. Go ahead, drop your questions in the chat. Dating, self-improvement. Let me provide you as much dating value possible. More dating value, more information, more answers than the other competitor who's live streaming right now. I got you. So does Ramadan affect your metabolism? Yeah, it's definitely tough, man. Lifting weights like before either before you fast or like at the end of the day, right? It's tough, you know, because I usually break my fast, then pray, then run to the gym, you know, because I'm not gonna I'll be honest, I'm not gonna go to the gym at like 4 o'clock in the morning and then come back and then, you know, do Sari and then pray. You know what I mean? I mean, I wake up early, but not that early, right? So Yeah, it's tough in terms of meal times and, balancing the gym for sure. But I've always had, like it does definitely affect my metabolism, but I've always naturally had a high metabolism, you know? Um, it's always been I get hungry pretty easily, even when I'm like not fasting. I don't know. It's just my body. But my body's also weird where I'll eat a little bit and then I'll get full again, right? But yeah, man, Ramadan Mubarak. What if I live in India? What actions are the most ROI for dating apps? Doesn't change, bro. It does not change wherever you are in the world. Um, just pictures that showcase sex appeal, pictures that cater towards the female gaze. And the number one ROI you can do from a physical perspective is get as ripped as possible, as shredded as possible, enhance your style, grooming, lots of sex appeal, female gaze max, female gaze max the best you can. So, pictures that appeal towards the female gaze, right? So, if you're in shape, take a couple, have like a photo in there, shirtless of you walking around on maybe the beach, walking around in the pool, right? Natural, candid photo of you. None of these locker room selfies or gym pictures or anything like that. Just candid, natural shots of you walking around in the pool or walking around in the beach, shirtless to really showcase that natural, like candid physique shot. Have one of those, have a full body fashion shot, right? Maybe of you like staring off into the distance, walking, having like a dope environment, have like a close up shot. It kind of represents the date shot of you sitting down at a coffee shop, dinner table at a nice restaurant, um, even at like a bar with maybe like a drink in your hand, wearing like a nice, like casual sex appeal outfit. Could be a knitted button pull up polo, could be a quarter zip polo, could even be you with like a turtleneck, right? Whether it be the casual sex appeal or old money style, your fashion should always be on point. Throw in, towards the end of the profile, a dog photo of you, right? Make sure you're not flexing the dog. Make sure the dog looks comfortable. And then have like some type of hobby shot, right? A really good female gaze hobby would be, you just like cooking up something and then your buddy just takes a snapshot of you like while you're scraping, the dish onto your plate, right? So watch all my dating app videos. I have an entire school community really catered towards online presentation, cold approach, as well as dating apps as well. Great investment. It's not that expensive to join. It's only $37 a month. You can cancel at any time. That's the top link in the description. Or you can watch the tons of, probably like hundreds of YouTube videos I have at this point on dating apps, man. So yeah, take a look at all my free content as well. Tons of stuff on dating apps. But the game for dating apps does not change wherever you are in the world. Lean max, get in terrific shape, style, grooming, fashion, environment, female gaze max, you'll get matches. Have you always been in shape? Have you been 12% your entire life? Appreciate it, bro. Um, I was never overweight. I was never skinny fat. I was actually the exact opposite. I was very skinny. So at one point, I was under 12%, but in a bad way. I was an ectomorph. I was very skinny. I was like 115, 120 pounds. In college, I got it up to around 130 pounds, right? I was skinny. And as a result, it was always very hard for me to like put on muscle, but I eventually did it, right? So for me, it was actually the opposite. I was never overweight. but I was very skinny. And it was always trying to put on more muscle that was harder. But skinny guys have it pretty good because when you start putting on more muscle, you just naturally develop a lean muscular physique, which is, female gaze maxing, which is exactly what women are looking for. So I see, in your opinion, at which point is my muscle enough? If I have 21 FMMI, right, will more muscle even help me, or is it too deep into the point of diminishing returns? I mean, honestly, I would say you make, I don't even, what do you mean by 21 FFMI? At the end of the day, it's like, are you lean? Just at the end of the day, if you're at least like 15, 14% body fat or less, you're in a solid position. If you're pretty lean, you don't got to be the bulkiest dude by any means. You don't got to be some jack bodybuilder. As long as it's like a little bit of muscle, right? A little bit of ab definition, a bicep vein or two, and some definition in your shoulders, and you are about, I don't know, under 15, under around 14, 15% body fat or less, you're fine, you know? The worst thing you could do is be overweight or skinny fat and be on these dating apps. They're definitely not going to work. But if you're in shape, you're not overweight, and you're definitely not skinny fat, right? You're neither of those. You're in good shape. As long as you're in good shape and you're not overweight or skinny fat, you'll be fine. Let's say you had a client that was in shape but had acne scars. Could you edit them after the photo shoot? Well, yeah. I mean, I would tell them prior to the photo shoot to work on their skin, because the photo shoot would probably technically be like a couple weeks after I meet with them, or at least a month after I meet with them. So I tell them to get like Tej Hanley or one of these skincare systems and go hard on that. But even if they still have acne there, I mean, it's not that hard to edit out the acne. But you should, even regardless of photo shoot or not, you should be doing things for your skin. There's a couple techniques. Get on a skincare system like Tej Hanley helps. Anything on Amazon, as long as it has, AM moisturizer, PM moisturizer, a scrub solution, and a daily face wash, you're fine. Another thing you could do naturally is take some ice cubes. Like every morning, just take an ice cube and drag it down your face. Helps with like swelling and reducing puffiness as well. So also another really big thing that tends to happen is the cleaner your diet, the less of the acne, tends to be a problem. So permanent acne scars on the upper body. I've been to the best dermatologist in Michigan and they say they'll remain for life. I mean, if it's a body acne, do the best you can. At the end of the day, most of your pictures on dating apps are going to be you clothed, right? Not like a girl will see. I'd say do the best you can, handling that. If it really bothers you, see maybe like a dermatologist or somebody who works with like in the industry with like cosmetics and stuff. But if they're like around your body, I would think they would look kind of badass if you really think about it, having like some scars on your body and shit. But yeah, um, yeah, I mean, on dating apps and for photo shoots, there's only like one picture of you that you really need to display that you're in shape. The rest of them, you're gonna be clothed, right? When you meet a girl in real life, you're probably not gonna meet her shirtless. You know what I mean? So just do the best you can, you know, make sure washing yourself, obviously, use tons of soap, do the best you can, for your skin. But, if it really bothers you, sure there's tons of cosmetologists that could give you a better solution on how to deal with acne scars than I can. So, yeah, if you have any other questions, you guys have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat, or you could click that pinned comment to join the stream and talk to me directly. Dude, if you're in shape, you'll be fine, bro. Don't worry about whether you have acne, scars or not. And you shouldn't be putting in the work just for women. You should be doing it for yourself. So you're already in the wrong mindset, if I'm being honest. Um, you need to put yourself first. And it's funny, this is coming from like a dating coach, but I mean, self-improvement is the most important part. You got to do it for your own health, physical and mental, you know? Women will come and go. You'll self-improve and you'll work on yourself and you'll get lots of women, but who cares? At the end of the day, like women are women. You'll meet new ones. You'll date tons of them. Some will come and go, right? Some you might be in a relationship with for a while, and then something happens and you want to either just end the relationship or she might even leave you for whatever reason. But women kind of come and go. You should never just be doing this just for women. You got to also do it for yourself. So it's kind of the wrong mindset, right? Even if I was, I don't know, naturally ugly looking and I had nothing else going for me, the one essential that I'll always do is make sure my body is right. That's the best thing you can do. Training is the right answer no matter what circumstance you're in, right? Forget about, women for a second. At the end of the day, you have to do it for yourself, mentally, physically. It is the best solution. Anybody can train, even if you don't have access to the gym, you could do push-ups, right? You could get a pull-up bar from Amazon, work on your pull-up game. Everybody has a floor underneath them. I guarantee you, if you do 50 push-ups every single day for the rest of your life, doesn't even have to be all at once, but like throughout the day, you'll be in better shape than like 90% of the people out there. So I found people respected me more when I was in shape. Yeah, makes sense. I was 14% body fat in 2020. Can't be a brown guy and have a rotund, non-bred physique. Absolutely, bro. And being in shape, like I said earlier, it's beyond women. You'll get more people respecting you, more people, not just women, but guys just wanting to hang out with you more, respect you more. You'll make more friends. Career wise, I guarantee you, you go for a job interview and there's the overweight, obese guy who's qualified versus the in shape guy who might not be as qualified. I guarantee you they'll take the more attractive, better in shape guy versus the overqualified, out of shape guy any day of the week. Even if it's two people that are equally qualified, one's out of shape and one's in shape, 100% guarantee you they're always going to take the in shape guy. It shows discipline. Your body's like one of the biggest, if not the biggest source of discipline, And I know this sounds kind of messed up, but I really don't like, if you're a young guy, especially, and you're not in shape, like it's honestly just sad, Like, yeah, maybe if like, you know, older people like 70, 60 years old and above, okay, maybe you can make the exception for them. But if you're under the age of 60 and you're like out of shape, like there's really no excuse, especially in your 20s and 30s and 40s, man. For me, I don't want somebody in my network, honestly, who is out of shape. Now, the caveat to that is if they know they're out of shape, they understand they're out of shape, but they're busting their ass off to get into better shape. I'll hang out with those guys. I'll respect those guys. I'll help them out. But if you're not doing anything, any type of like exercise that could help you get better into shape. It could even be martial arts, it could be boxing, kickboxing, or obviously lifting weights. But if you're not doing any of that stuff, you know, you're not even trying and you're still, and you're out of shape, then I really don't, want to network those type of people. I'll network with people that are out of shape, overweight, as long as I know they're putting in the work and actively trying to get better as a person, right? I'll mess with you, if you're out of shape, you're overweight, but you're at least trying, you're putting in the work and you're disciplined and you're showing me that you're putting in the effort, then yeah, I'll mess with you. I'll help you if anything, obviously, right? I'll connect with you for that. I'll network with you for that because you're putting in the effort. But the worst type of people are the people that don't put in the effort and are out of shape. So, if you look at old high school pics, you look pretty lean, not obese. I'm surprised to see you not get girls or a prom date then. How did you get access to my old pics, bro? Did you find me on Facebook or something? Oh, I guess in my YouTube videos, that's probably how. I sometimes post the old screenshots of me, eh? Yeah, so the reason I didn't get girls in high school or prom date was because more of the hygiene, grooming, and lack of confidence. Back then, I dressed pretty bad. I had bad hygiene most of the time. I had zero levels of confidence in myself, you know, and I was skinnier, but I wasn't like, I still didn't have a solid amount of muscle. I didn't have a good body back then. But I'd say the biggest thing was low levels of confidence and poor social skills and a lack of like style and female gaze was what was preventing me when I was younger. And I was one of those people that really grew into my looks. In high school, I was walking around with like just logo shirts or like or like weird clothes, even a little baggier clothes, or it was the complete opposite end where I would wear like weird sweater vests and weird like kind of just weird clothing overall back then. I had no sense of style, and you couple that with low levels of confidence, horrible social skills. It was just a mess back then, man. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I struggled um back in the day. All right, solid questions. I'm going to refill this up. So, be back in a minute. Yes, there's something called fat discrimination. Psychologists have proved this. That's true. What was your hygiene like in high school? I mean, it was more so just like I didn't look like I took care of myself. Like I had like I never like I was so lazy. I started growing facial hair at a pretty young age at like 14, 15 years old. Well, I mean, I guess a lot of you can relate because you're South Asian watching this, but I didn't really even shave. I had like a weird mustache, and then when the stubble started coming in on the sides, it was just a mess. I didn't really get haircuts in high school. It was like once every 5, 6 months. Um, yeah, and I just dressed with really super baggy clothing, and you put all that together, it just looks like a really unhygienic person. What logo brands did you wear in high school? I don't remember, man. I mean, it was probably like the normal. gym clothes that people wear to the gym, except I would wear this shit like outside of the gym. So like the Reeboks, the Nikes, the Adidas, the Under Armours, things that I wear to the gym but would never wear outside of the gym, like ever. That's what I would wear on like a regular basis in high school. I also would wear like weird like spirit wear of my high school. It was so dumb. Yeah, bro, those were weird, weird times. I was so different back then. But I will say, it was a blessing in disguise having it tough because I wouldn't be as in shape or as look smaxed as I am today if I did not have that struggle in high school. Sometimes I go and log into like Facebook and like it's funny, I haven't updated my Facebook in a long time. I don't even use Facebook at all, but I have all my old like high school and college pictures in it. And sometimes I like go to Facebook and log in and I see like people that I was friends with back then and how much they've like let themselves go. A lot of these like kids who had a lot of clout in high school and college that were getting girls. Now I log back into Facebook sometimes and I see what they're up to. And a lot of them really let themselves go because they got too comfortable, you know? So it's really a blessing in disguise for the people that had it harder in college and high school and then were able to glow up a lot later and really grew into their looks. Pretty much what happened to me. So, yeah. All right. If you guys got any more questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. We'll stay on for a little bit longer. I am kind of tired today, but we'll see what happens. How did you bounce back from heartbreak? Um, yeah, I mean, so I've been in relationships in the past. The recent relationships that I was in, I really didn't care. Like after we ended things, like I really just picked up. Like I never let go of the self improvement. In my recent relationships, So if a girl doesn't want to be with me anymore, it's like whatever, her loss. But when I was younger, like in college, for instance, in college when I had my first relationship, um, yeah, those first couple relationships back in college, those were tough. But at the end of the day, as time goes on, like, you just occupy your mind with other shit, right? Other things you're interested in, other hobbies. That's why I always say, like, women shouldn't be like your primary source of dopamine, right? Getting a good workout in, taking up hobbies like martial arts, boxing, trying to make more money, focusing on other areas of self improvement really helped. And just know that when you become, that guy, right? When you become, when you become more attractive and you really level up, right? You're going to have so many options. You don't care if things go south with a woman because there's going to be another woman that comes into your life, right? So that's why you have to build yourself, look smacks, work on all these other areas of self improvement, then you'll be set when you become that guy because you're always going to have options, right? If I was in a serious relationship right now and the girl broke up with me, I really wouldn't give a fuck, right? I could just go back on dating apps and find somebody else, because I have enough confidence, not even from external validation, but like from my internal validation. Like I know, I'm that guy. I know I'm that guy that can attract most women because I've worked on myself. I've deserved it. You know, I do all the habits of like the top tier guy. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm just being honest, waking up at 5:30 a.m. every single day, or at least most days of the week. I'm not perfect by any means, but I try to, doing the morning routine, the cold showers, the 50 push-ups every morning, not missing any days at the gym, being pretty consistent in, posting content to YouTube, right? Um, really just taking things like to the next level, step by step, doing all the habits that most people don't do consistently. I know I've earned the right. I know I'm him. And that's why I'm never, really nervous of a girl leaving me, because I know I can attract another one. You know, I do a lot of dope hobbies too on the side. I travel when I can, not that much these days because I'm busy with the business and stuff, but I'll make time for it still. I'm into martial arts. I'm a pretty social guy. If I see a girl I like, I'll go up and talk to her, right? So if I see women I like, I'll go talk to them. I know I'm him, right? So when you build and have worked on yourself and you develop all those layers of confidence, right? Women, they gravitate towards you, right? You're not scared to go approach that girl. You know, your female gaze, your online presentation is at an all-time high. You could just pull out, a dating app and you'll have so many options, right? I'm not even like making this stuff up. I just want to kind of use this to brag to you guys, but like I don't know if you could see this or not, but on Hinge right there, I believe it says like 150 notifications right there, right? So think about that, At all times I have another girl that I could potentially go on a date with. Like there's literally 150 girls right now on Hinge that I need to message back or I've matched with. Right? You see that red notification? This is what happens when you've mastered your online presentation and become him. So I want to get you guys to like this level. It's not hard, right? Like it's cool to just open this, and it's like girls, 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 like everywhere, right? And that's just online dating, I always have the confidence for cold approach too. So when you really become that guy, when you've really worked on yourself, your online presentation looks maxed, your inner self, your inner game, self-improvement, right? It's easy to bounce back from heartbreaks. They don't affect you because you're always going to have options, right? So, yeah. Good question so far. Do you have any tips on building a solid social circle in your late 20s? Yeah. I mean, my advice is kind of basic and cliche on this, man. Just join a bunch of clubs. Running clubs are good. Boxing, a fitness oriented gym like a MMA class, boxing gym. That's a good place to meet guys who are, into fitness and self-improvement. Um, Other activities, if you're into reading, definitely book clubs. Just go. What are you into? You got to have some hobbies outside of like, video games and dopamine stuff, right? So definitely maybe some rec intramural leagues, some rec sports, if you play maybe like basketball or football or something like that. Rec intramural sports are a good place to meet people just in general. Um, yeah, I'd say join like a martial arts gym, maybe a book club if you're into reading. Little things like that, instead of being cooped up inside the house all day, you should, do some work maybe a couple times a week, go to like a coffee shop near you, grab your laptop. Coffee shops are great places to meet women, as well. Like coffee shops, what I usually do is I go to a coffee shop a couple times a week. I work and if I see a cute girl, a couple tables down, I'll work for a little bit. Then at some point, I'll go strike up a conversation with her. I'll leave my laptop for a little bit, but I'll go talk to her for a couple minutes, and go back to work, right? But coffee shops are definitely a good place to when it comes to socializing and meeting women. Obviously, you shouldn't go there for the sole purpose of meeting women. You should go there to be productive, grab a coffee, and get to work. But it's a pretty good beginner, basic social setting to start a conversation with. But really, social circle, join like fun clubs, right? Whatever you're into, running clubs, book clubs, rec sports. For women, especially, run clubs are pretty good. Salsa classes are pretty good to meet women. So, I tried using pics of Manish Dayal on dating apps here in London. Who the fuck? I don't know who Manish Dayal is. Um, why would you use pics of someone that's not you? First of all, that's probably what Hinge is, or whatever dating app you use was probably like. I mean, whoever this guy is, if he's a famous dude, the dating app was probably like, why the hell would this guy Manish Dayal be on a dating app? You know what I mean? So obviously it's not going to work. And if this guy's famous, right? Girls are probably like, this isn't the real Manish Dayal, so they're not going to swipe right. It's probably the dumbest thing you could do, bro. Whatever happened to the hot popular girls in my high school? Who knows, bro? I really don't care. Probably, I'm sure some of them might be married. I don't want to talk bad. I feel like sometimes I get talk a little negative, but I don't know. I'm sure some of them are married. Some of them might be, I don't know, baby mamas. And I'm really shitting on that. I don't know. Maybe some of them are successful in whatever way. Maybe some of them are good housewives. Maybe some of them are single moms and divorced and living a miserable life. Maybe some of them are good, grew up, became, good housewives to their husbands. I don't know, bro. F them. Who knows? Maybe some of them turn into decent human beings regardless, right? I don't know. I don't really keep up. Um, but what tends to happen in general is a lot of them kind of let themselves go, especially when they get into their 30s. So, yeah. Well, watch my YouTube videos and I'll explain how you get better results on dating apps, or join my school community and I go into even more in depth in that, and you can get tons of feedback from me directly on your dating app profile as well. It's my best advice. But my videos in themselves on YouTube should do the trick. I made plenty of videos on how to maximize your matches on dating apps. But if you're really, really serious and you want to take it to the next level, you can just join the school community and we'll work together. Top link in the description if you're interested. Does location matter? London is brutal for brown guys and Poland is easier. And white man game, direct game isn't really good for brown guys. Location definitely matters on dating apps. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're in a small town, it's going to be harder. Um, Definitely bigger cities are going to give you more options. I live in near the DC area right now, but if I travel to like Miami or LA, haven't been to those two places in a long time, but even like a New York or a Chicago, if I go there, my hinge goes to like 2x, 3x what I normally get. So location does definitely play a role for sure. I haven't been to London or England that much, so I can't really say. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you have a female gaze max profile, you'll get results. Listen, when it comes to day game, direct game, it doesn't really matter as long as you give off chill vibes. you're genuine about why you're approaching her, it's fine, you know? The problem is a lot of brown guys suck at this because they're watching all these weird dating coaches that tell them like scripted stuff, right? They're feeding around the bush too much, saying dumb stuff. Their presentation and hygiene is bad. They have bad body language. They need to speak a lot slower. So when it comes to, social interactions, there's a lot more than just being confident and doing a ton of approaches. You know what I mean? So how do you get your 100 plus grams of protein macros when you travel out of state? Well, there's a Chipotle in every single state in the US that I'm aware of. And I'm sure they have Chipotles in Europe and other Western countries too. Chipotle is an easy one. I know maybe that's not the best answer you're looking for, but look up some of the most popular places, restaurants, chains around, state in different states, different areas. Look up, their menu, look up what items have high grams of protein. You could definitely make it work, bro. Most places have Chipotles, especially in the West and states, right? I usually, if I travel to another state, look for my closest Chipotle or similar equivalent, get my macros through that. Or I really like steaks, right? I kind of wing it a little bit, but as long as I have a clean, healthy, high protein diet, I can finesse it. I'll intermittent fast and then end the evening with a nice steak dinner at a cool steak restaurant. Gets you lots of grams of protein for sure. So traveling is a little bit harder, but high protein diet, eat clean, you'll be fine. I always thought about getting a girl through social circle, but what if there are good looking, taller white guys on that circle? It would destroy my confidence. Don't worry about the race, bro. Just be the most charismatic guy you possibly can. Be as social as you can. Work on your looks. Don't worry about other people's races. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Only thing you can do is worry about yourself and becoming the best possible version of yourself in all these areas of life. So stop worrying about other people, other races, right? Have that confidence in yourself. Have stronger inner game and belief in yourself, right? Especially if you put in the work, you should have confidence in yourself. Don't worry about other people. Says Manish Dayal is an Indian American actor. So not many girls in London know him. It lasted a week before I got banned, but yeah, wasn't great results before that. Also, to be fair, it was just headshot pics. I mean, yeah, dude, that's pretty stupid of you, regardless, to use a actor, And also, London, I heard, has a huge brown Indian South Asian population. So I would have been very surprised if you could get away with that. Also, like I said, for guys with lots of clout, they have their own like separate dating app. I believe it's called Raya, but most famous celebrities and actors are not going to be on a Bumble or a Tinder or a Hinge, maybe a Hinge, but probably not. They have exclusive dating apps for influencers and celebrities. In fact, most celebrities have such strong status in social networking. They're not going to be on a dating app, So of course it's not going to work, bro. All right. I'm getting back in shape. After that, we'll reach out to do this seriously. Get into shape, bro. But even if you're still working on getting in shape, in my school community, I post tons of fitness stuff in there. There's aesthetic workout guides in there as well. So all the resources you need to level up are in that school community regardless. But yeah, keep working at it. Get into shape, bro. Just makes so many things in life so much easier. So, all right, gonna give it maybe another 10 minutes and then call it a night. Um, Again, if anyone wants to come on the stream and talk to me directly, you can click the pinned comment if you want to talk to me directly and join the stream. Otherwise, gonna give another 10 minutes, then call it a night. So, do I have any regrets? Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things I could have done better. I should have started YouTube a lot earlier during the golden age, like 2018, 2019, probably like 2018, who knows where I could be right now. Um, all the times that I postponed starting it set me back years compared to other people in this industry. It just sucks, but hey, better late than never. But definitely my biggest thing that I should have done was started YouTube like way before the stuff got saturated, like back in like 2017, 2018. Like who knows where I'd be right now. I think that's my biggest regret is not starting YouTube earlier. Um, Especially because I've watched YouTube for a long time, back in like 2005, 2006, when this social media stuff, or YouTube at least, started coming out. Yeah, but again, I was a lot younger back then too, so fair enough. I don't think if I had started super early, like if I had started YouTube like 8 years ago, I don't know if I would still have been able to give you as much value as I do now from everything I've learned throughout my 20s. So there is a caveat to it. But regardless, there still could have been some things of value I probably still could have given you, but I think starting YouTube during 2020, during the pandemic, only like 5 years ago, that's something that I should have done, you know? Um, yeah, starting YouTube earlier. I should have started YouTube earlier, I'd say. I asked Chat GBD how to get a girlfriend. You mean Chat GPT? Just for fun. It always say exposure matter, so you need to see repeatedly and build connection. You see, that's the issue with AI and why AI will never replace like a personal brand, kind of like this, how I'm like personally real life experience giving you advice. They just take cookie cutter advice from random sources off like Google and they summarize it and they integrate it into like a formal structure and spit out information. That's the problem when it comes to personal things like fitness and date. Maybe not fitness, you could get away with using Chat GPT, but like really personal things like dating, especially, AI advice isn't the best when it comes to giving dating advice, right? You really need to go to, people like me who have an actual personal brand on YouTube to give the advice. But I know you did it just for fun, but it always seems to be ChatGPT when it comes to certain things of self improvement, like dating. It's going to give you some cookie cutter like advice that the network or the computer algorithm found on like a couple random websites off like Google. It's going to summarize it and give it back to you. So, yeah, ChatGPT can never replace a personal brand. AI can never replace a human to human personal brand on like something personal, on a niche that's personal, like dating. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. They say AI is going to replace a lot of jobs, but when it comes to content creation, and you also like the trades, obviously, anything like trades and business in terms of a personal brand, it's not going to replace that. But I don't know. I guess you computer engineers have it harder. I guess you're really trying to learn a lot of AI automation tools right now. So, all right. I'm going to visit India in May for 3 weeks. I'm trying to figure out how to maintain my fitness regimen, getting in my macros, protein, carbs, fats, meal prep, and gym. Yeah, I mean, listen, they have halal like groceries, or they have. You see, it's tough because I don't know, you might be Hindu, so I guess you can't really eat beef, right? But yeah, see, where you can get like other sources of meat in India from. Obviously, wash it really well. But when you're traveling, don't stress it too much. Don't be eating lots of curry and dal, right? Just get as much protein as possible through just pure meat sources like chicken. A little bit of seasoning is fine, but don't overdo it. Don't drench it with curries and sauce and all of that. And then make sure you're getting, a little bit of vegetables on the side, a little bit of broccoli. But make sure you get as much of like that meat source as you can. I'd say through like chicken or lamb or whatever they have in India. Do your best, bro. India, yeah, it's tough, but do your best for 3 weeks. Eat as clean as possible. Drink plenty of water. I mean, I know the water in India is not healthy, but boil the water, right? Um, right. Get a water filter, eat as clean as you can, bro. So I'm sure in India they have restaurants that serve like, meat, right? Just ask them to remove, any crazy like curries and definitely no dal, stick to just a little bit of carbs, rice, some vegetables, and less more meats, less of the sauciness and dal and curry, you know? It's tough, but you'll live. Um, I think I said seasoning earlier. Seasoning is fine. Obviously, it's not going to affect you at all. Seasoning has nothing in it. It's seasoning. Salt, seasoning, all of that is fine. But as little as you want, less gravy, less dal, as minimal curry and all of that as possible. Minimum. Stay away from the bread, the non-bread, right? More just of that meat stuff as you can, you know. Don't drench it in dal and curry and naan bread and all that crap that us Indian people, your Indian uncles eat, right? Just do the best you can. I would say, if anything, have a little heavier breakfast with like tons of eggs, tons, like maybe like 3 eggs in the morning, scrambled if you can, right? Now don't go and eat paratha and all that garbage bread with it. None of that. None of that samosa crap. None of that samosa chaat. None of those parathas or dal puris. Eggs. All right. Eggs, yogurt, see fish, get protein from other sources, almonds, and then maybe have one meal in the evening. Chill with like, don't drench it with curries and sauces. More meat, right? Less rice, little bit of broccoli. Cut out the dal as much as possible, the curries as much as possible. So, yeah, man. What kind of dates have you gone on with women besides coffee, dinner, and drinks? I don't do dinner first dates at all. Do you guys not watch my videos? I talk about this all the time. Mini golf, bowling, arcade, axe throwing, ice skating, fun dates. Women want a fun date, right? Those are the types of dates you should go on, you know? I know wherever you are right now, it's cold. So doing like a walk in the park with the coffee's kind of not doable wherever you are in the world right now. But spend a little bit more, not crazy, but you could definitely do mini golf. Arcade dates are are kind of fun, get the competitive juices flowing. Ice skating, karaoke, that's another good one. So definitely want to, those are some good dates to create the spark, have some movement, dynamic dates. Can you meet? I'm Christian. Well, that's good. My advice helped you. To build an aesthetic, I need to bulk up for at least 1 year and give more reps to my shoulders, chest, and lats. Then start to cut. Do you think it will work? I am skinny fat 16. No, you're doing this all fucking wrong. Stop bulking. Jesus Christ. Okay. If you're skinny fat, you need to cut. Don't bulk. Cut. Never bulk. Cut down and then eat at maintenance calories. So you're going to cut, you're going to eat at calorie deficit, and then you're going to get a high protein diet, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? Whatever your goal weight is to be, make sure you're getting a high protein diet and you want to be on a calorie deficit. You need to cut, don't bulk, okay? Cut. Lean max, don't bulk, okay? Bulking is stupid fitness advice. Even if you're like the opposite and ectomorph, eat at maintenance, do progressive overload, increase the weight over time. Your body's naturally going to gain muscle. All right. You should be cutting, not bulking. Okay. How do you personally travel and stay in shape? I tell you, man, if there's a floor, you can stay in shape. 50 push-ups. I do as many push-ups as I can throughout the day when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, I make sure, first of all, the hotel I'm staying at has like a basic gym with like dumbbells, first of all. And in the rare instances where I'm somewhere where there is no like hotel gym, right? I'll just do push-ups throughout the day, max out as many push-ups as I can, travel around downtown, get as many steps in as I can. All right. That's how I do it. So yeah, 16% body fat. Don't be bulking. You're supposed to be lean maxing. You're supposed to be cutting, bro. Cutting. Calorie deficit. Cutting. All right, guys. Been over an hour. I got to go to sleep. Wake up early tomorrow. Just a couple reminders. Top link in the description is my school community. If you want to join that, giving you tons of value in there on dating, self-improvement, fitness. I literally will look at your dating app profiles in there, give you my honest feedback, tons of video modules on how to improve your dating life, looks max, get into better shape even. I got fashion guides in there and a community forum where you can ask me questions. I do live calls like this in there as well. If you're interested in the school community, it's the top link in the description. Also, be sure to grab a copy of my book, South Asian Casanova, your guide to crushing it in the modern day dating market as a single South Asian guy. Link to that is in the description as well. Thumbs up the stream, like, drop a comment below. Make sure to give the stream a thumbs up if you're watching it a little bit later down the road, right? I'll catch you all in either the next video or the next live stream. All right, guys. Peace out. Catch you in the next video.